Episode number 82 of the podcast Heavy or Not, the OG Swim Guide, is about relegation and promotion. It's a concept that's not well understood by the American sports fan, and we talked to Barry Healey of Canada, OG himself, who's into the European soccer realm. If you haven't done so already, I want you to tune to Heavy or Not episode 81 as it talks about how we can reform American college football with a two-tier system, with the top 80 teams in the top tier and then a minor sub-tier for the others. I think it's a concept that needs your support. What works really well with relegation that the American sports people don't understand?
One time in the UK, we had 4 divisions professionally and semi-professional. Then we had a whole bundle of college, schools, pub teams that still go thousands of teams. The best one I like on the relegation in the Premier Division, the top four teams go into the Champions League in Europe. The bottom 3 teams of the Premier Division get dropped down, but they get a thing called a parachute payment. I think it's £30 million each, because once a team drops down out of that, they're going to lose some top players that they have to replace. They're going to go to grounds where the income is not so much. So that thing is to help them adjust to get back up. What I really like, the division below, at one time it was just the top 3 teams move up. So, they're battling for it. So what they do now, and I like this. I'd like to see this go all the way down. So this is what happens. The top 2 teams get moved up to the Premier Division. They're guaranteed. If they finish off with goal difference and everything else, they're up. Then the next 4 teams, right? So they're going from 3rd to 6th. They have playoffs, semis, and a final for that next place. That has created so much excitement because, if you're in the 6th team, and what are our chances? But it's done by draw, right? It's done by draw. It's not 3rd versus 4th and 4th. It's like throw them in a hat and this is it. These guys and the winner will play this and the winner. That for that league, it's been absolutely amazing because all of a sudden the supporters in the team, hey, we can make the top 6. We can't make the top 2. We can make the top 6. And then it comes down to 2 games, right? Can we get out of this? Can we get out of the next one? And then we're up. And I think, I don't know if you've been following it, but, the 2 Canadians that took over Wrexham, they've come from the very, very bottom of the crap. Now they're like, right, not in the Premier, but that's been their goal. Like both of them are actors, right? Both of them live in California and live in England. And that's their goal. They got their own TV show. They got everything from a little town, a Welsh town and stuff. And it's created so much for the town. It's brought tourism. It's brought this. It's brought that. But that's the way they're going. We just need to be in top 6. We need players to get us in. I think that would work. And the only way I can see it working in the States is that if you took those top 40, and it would be hard to say, okay, there's no Division 1, but if you took those top 40 and say, you guys are in the Northeast and that would cut down the cost of travel. And I know that's a big issue that gets talked about. We can't afford to fly 40 guys over here and then over there. But then if you did that and you're going, okay, so the top 2 or the top 3, like what the soccer do, you're going into the next division above that next year. But still trying to work on the just like hockey does, right? And hockey is getting it a little bit better. You guys are on this coast and that coast. And the only time they have to do the big flights is on the playoffs.
And it makes for an exciting time that you don't want to finish last, right?
Oh, you don't want to finish last. No. And what I like sometimes in the Premier Division, and a lot of guys down on outside soccer don't understand it, is that teams in the bottom three or the top bottom six, can be even bottom 10, can fall into that top three at any weekend. Everybody is fighting. We don't want to be in the bottom three. But some of the games, you'll get some of the games where the guys, and they've just done it. The team that's bottom, Wolves beat Man U the other week because they're fighting for their lives. They're going, and the guys at the top think, hey, these guys are bottom. No, not when you put the fire in their belly. They're going to fight to the last minute because as a player, you don't want to go down into that next league because your wages drop down. The chances of being identified as a young and upcoming player get less. And if you can perform on the top stage, even for one day, for 90 minutes, you just have to get out there and show everybody what you can do. That creates that.
The teams that get relegated downwards, so they get, you said, a parachute payment?
Only from the Premier. I don't think there's any parachute payments on the rest of the leagues. A lot of that funding comes from all the clubs in the Premier Division have to pay into that parachute payment from the overall season. They all throw it in and they all throw it in. And that keeps it going. And then more and more sponsors come in.
If we used relegation in Major League Baseball, it would prevent teams from using public monies for building stadiums. And if we had relegation, there would be a threat for the Pirates to move down into minor league baseball. We would still have a team, but it wouldn't be playing against the Yankees and Dodgers.